Good evening, VC. I'm back with a short video from my record haul last Saturday. On my last video I had to omit 3 records because of YouTube copyright policies. So today what we are listening to in the background is the band which I play the drums in. Which means I own the rights to the recorded material. So it shouldn't be any copyright hassles this time. Not that it's important, but I really had planned on showing every record I bought last Saturday. So that's what this video is about, showing the last 3 from my shopping spree. And ironically I have found another UK band which caused me some copyright trouble the last time. Well, one of the last records I planned on showing was Kevin Ayers and the Whole World, and their record from 1970, Shooting at the Moon. You all of course know Kevin Ayers, the original bass player from Soft Machine, who split the group quite early on and released quite a number of solo albums in a very British psychedelic vein, I would say. And this is a typical Kevin Ayers record, but with a backing band. This is the second pressing from 1972, and The Way to Tell is by the EMI logo on the Harvest label. Very good condition, excellent condition. I'm not totally in love with this album yet, but I'll give it some more spins. I really enjoy Kevin Ayers solo stuff, early solo records mind you, so I think it will grow on me. But that's Kevin Ayers, Shooting at the Moon, Kevin Ayers and the Whole World. Some parts are great. The next album I tried to show in my last video was Black Widow, and their first album. I have had their second album called Black Widow for a number of years, and managed to find their first album for quite a nice price, and a Dutch pressing on CBS. And if you haven't heard Black Widow, they're sort of a heavy rock, progressive rock band with occult imagery. There are some very fine melodies on both this record and the second called Sacrifice, but not strong all the way through to my ears. If you had coupled the best songs from this album and from Sacrifice, you would have a solid single album. But I do enjoy many of the songs, many of the parts on both this and their second album. Never mind. Now, the last album I wanted to show of the Holy Grails, I didn't buy it on the record fair, but I purchased it the same day in Oslo, and it's not my first copy but my last upgrade copy, and this is such a great album. It's T2. I know Seek the Vinyl Geek showed his US copy just the other day, but this is the British copy on Decca Records, and this is in magnificent condition. For those who haven't heard T2, they were a 1-album band out of UK, a power trio with only bass, guitar and drums, and the wonderful Keith Cross on guitar, and Peter Dunton on vocals and excellent drumming. And they released just this album, It'll All Work Out in Boomland. Heavy progressive with psych elements here and there. And this is the second pressing, or parallel pressing. There's some dispute whether there were two pressings of the UK version. But the way to tell this is a so-called second pressing, it says T2 on the bottom of the label. Because the first run omitted that. They forgot to put the band name on the label. So this is an excellent addition and an excellent upgrade in my collection. I just love this album, and a standout track from T2, It'll All Work Out in Boomland, is No More White Horses, but the whole album is very, very strong. Now, I mentioned it was an upgrade copy. I also had the first pressing in a sort of VG Plus condition, and with the labels without the T2 lettering. I don't know if my camera picks up, but you see it's a blank blue space below the song titles, or the song title on side B, because it's one long track. So this is the first pressing, although many say that it was pressed parallelly with the other one where it says T2 on the label. I don't know, but I would guess it perhaps sold a bit, since it was released in the US and some other countries. I also have the first copy I got of this album is the 40th anniversary. 40th anniversary from Decca, and it's on white vinyl with the French labels, black Decca labels. But mind you, stay clear of this, at least the white pressing, because it's cut badly. It isn't as open and clear as the original, and there's an unbalance between the left and the right channel. So comparing the originals to the 40th anniversary, the originals are far superior. But it comes with a nice insert with the story of the band, so it's a nice thing to have, but sonically it's not as good as the original. Well, that's all I wanted to show in my last video, but the record which was playing in the background which caused me to have copyright claims all over my video and rendered me well, I couldn't edit the video because of that segment. But the record playing in the background was High Tide, and the second album from 1970. And perhaps you have heard about High Tide, perhaps not. But High Tide was a very heavy psychedelic trio which released 2 albums. This is of course the second album, simply called High Tide. A wonderful, wonderful piece of music. And in the foreground you have Tony Hill on vocals and magnificent guitar playing. Tony Hill was and is such a talent, and his tonality and choice of tone is simply unique. So High Tide, second album, I really recommend. Songs such as Blank Man Cries Again and The Joke, wonderful, wonderful stuff. Their first album was released in 1969 and was called Sea Shanties. And this is an original US release, actually. Sea Shanties. There's a wonderful picture inside here. The other talent in this group was the well-known Simon Hill, who played the violin and processed the violin sound through fuzz boxes and wah-wah, and almost sound like an extra guitar. But these 2 albums They are super duper, no less. And standout tracks from this album is Futilist's Lament, Death Warmed Up, and others. Just simply marvelous. So, High Tide got me in trouble, but it reminded me to show the records to the VC. So do go and check out High Tide. I think you will love it. Well, that's all for now. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.